Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Bill Rice Jr. sitting in for Mike Amos, who is still recovering from COVID. He's doing much better, but he's probably in quarantine, or he has to get a couple of negative tests before he can come in. Maybe he'll call in this morning. And Forrest Lee has been substituting as well, but he had somewhere he had to be this morning. So that leaves me going solo. So everybody wish me luck, and Michael will be calling in very shortly. But today is Monday, June 13th. We made it through the weekend. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope everybody has a great week. Speaking of some things that did happen this weekend, I'm disappointed that I guess the concert and food truck event on the square was canceled, maybe rescheduled. Myself and my kids were going to it a little before 6 o'clock. We were at the ATM machine getting some money at Troy Bank and Trust when the bottom fell out. And so we just turned around and came home, but we were really looking forward to that great event. There was supposed to be 3 groups playing on the square and 8 food trucks, and hopefully maybe later quit raining. I don't know if they tried to do a little of it, but if they had to postpone it or cancel it, maybe they'll reschedule it because it's a great event. In the sports world, I noted this morning in my 2-minute show prep that Drew Nelson was one of the runner-ups for Mr. Baseball in Alabama. A fella up in the Birmingham area with the last name Quick, a pitcher for Hewitt-Trussville, I think, was named Mr. Baseball. And the story in AL.com said he edged out Drew Nelson and one other guy. So it sounds like Drew was close to winning that award. He did make the Alabama Sports Writers Super All-State team. That's the best players from all classifications, public school and private school, AHSA and AISA. So that's a huge honor. I don't know if Tyler Blocks has ever had anybody that made that team, the super prep team. The quick kid that won it is a big old kid. In fact, he was supposed to be a big football prospect as an offensive lineman. His brother played at Alabama as an offensive lineman until transferring in the past year. But he's also a great baseball pitcher, and he decided that he is going to focus on baseball, and you kind of understand why, because if he was going to be a football lineman in college, he would have had to bulk up to 300 pounds, and you don't see many big weightlifting 300-pounders that are baseball pitchers. So he's going to focus on baseball, and he is signed or committed to Alabama to play baseball, although he could be, there's the draft, the Major League Baseball draft is coming up, and it's a possibility he could get drafted and decide to go on and play in the pros. But he also, like Drew Nelson, he had outstanding numbers. I think he was 13-1 and had an ERA of under 1. His team finished second in the state to Central of Phoenix City. He got the start in the first game against Central Phoenix City, and they won in a shutout, 6-0. And then darn if Central Phoenix City doesn't come back and win the next 2 games to win the state championship. Anyway, that was, Drew almost got the Mr. Baseball award, was probably second or third in the state for that honor, and did make Super All-State. So congratulations to Drew, who is, I'm pretty sure, going to Auburn, although he might also get drafted, but he has said that he is looking forward to playing for Auburn. Speaking of Auburn, the Tigers are in the Super Regional out in Oregon against Oregon State. They won the first game, and then they lost a heartbreaker 4-3 in the second game, so I guess that means there is a rubber match today with the winner going to the College World Series. So huge game for Auburn coming up. They've had an outstanding season, and my money would be on Auburn, even though they're playing at Oregon State. Other teams that are punched their ticket to the College World Series, I read that Arkansas is one, and they're going. And a shocker, Tennessee, which had one of the most impressive regular seasons I ever remember in college baseball, got upset in 2 games by Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish took down the Vols. We spent a lot of time actually talking about Tennessee's season. I think they won the SEC regular season easily and the tournament. They've got this pitcher that can throw the ball 106 miles an hour. All of that for naught. They're not even going to the College World Series. So there you go. The College World Series will soon start. The softball College World Series, Oklahoma won again. If anybody that follows the College World Series knows that Oklahoma was supposed to win, and they did. Michael will be calling in soon, and he is the world's biggest golf fan, so I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the one golf tournament I know the results of. That was the Canadian Open, and one of my favorite golfers, Rory McIlroy, won the Canadian Open, and second place was Tony Finau, and third place was Justin Thomas, the former Alabama golfer that just won the PGA. At one time, Justin was 1 or 2 shots back and had a round. He was, I think, 7 under after 12 holes in the tournament. So that's when I quit keeping up with it. And Roy McIlroy was always in the lead, and he went on to win the Canadian Open. And I'm not sure if it's this week or next week that we have the U.S. Open coming up. So that's something to look forward to in the sports world. I enjoyed going to see Raymond Ledford on Saturday. I got as you can probably tell, I got my ears lowered. Much needed haircut, Jack and I. And it was good visiting with Raymond. I'm trying to think of what scoop. Raymond probably had some scoop for me. It'll come to me later. Riding through town, I see that the vacation Bible schools are going on at a lot of churches, including my church, the First United Methodist Church. My wife, Carrie, is one of the adults that helped put that on, so that started yesterday afternoon. Maybe some churches have already had their vacation Bible school, others are doing it, but that's a rite of summer, these vacation Bible schools, and our children had a good first day and really enjoyed it. So that's a couple of things that I put on my list that I wrote on the Troy Messenger. We'll take a little break, and then I will see if Mike's going to call in and Michael's going to call in, and I'll maybe do some more show prep and find some more things to talk about. So look forward to another 70 or so minutes, and Michael Amos will be calling in from Grayton Beach. We'll be right back.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line has been in business since 1959, and we're steadily getting bigger. I'm surrounded by new equipment. That's right, new equipment. Here's one that's ready to go at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have Blue Cross, Blue Shield. We have a 401k. We can match your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. If these tires roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, you make money. Ride the best, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama. In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I had used all the material I had to get us through that 10 minutes, but now we're joined by somebody that I bet has some other things we can talk about. Good morning, Michael Amos in Grayton Beach.
Yeah, morning. It was a good weekend for sports. Watched Tennessee get upset yesterday by Notre Dame. They're saying one of the more shocking upsets ever in the Super Regionals. Notre Dame beat a Tennessee team that a lot of people think was one of the best in the last 20 years. Took 2 or 3 in Knoxville. Did 2 home runs late yesterday and then pulled away and won 7-3. And I think a lot of fans are shocked in college baseball, to say the least.
Oh, I thought they swept them, but they didn't sweep them.
Nah, they took 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned before, Auburn lost last night 4-3 at late night. I don't know how anybody's staying up to watch these games. It won't start till 9 o'clock, played on until midnight. But Auburn will play a game 3 today. Arkansas advanced yesterday out of the SEC in the North Carolina Super Regional. And then future Sun Belt opponent Southern Miss was swept by a really hot Ole Miss team. So Ole Miss has advanced to the College World Series as well. Ole Miss shut out Southern Miss 2 straight games.
Wow. See, that's what me and your dad always talk about. If you got 2 great pitchers, watch out. So Ole Miss must have 2 great pitchers.
I will say facilities-wise and fan-wise, I mean, that was one of the more amazing things I saw on television. Southern Miss really packed in the fans. Outfields were packed. I mean, any place they can get people standing in the room only. I mean, huge crowds in Hattiesburg. You know, they came off beating LSU the past weekend, and then I heard they hosted the Conference USA baseball tournament there as well. So can you imagine, as a baseball fan, you had the Conference USA tournament, you had a regional with LSU in it, some other really good teams in it, and then you had a super regional against Ole Miss. I'm sure the fans were even worn out.
Gosh, you are right. That is a lot of baseball and a lot of high-stakes baseball. And they had all that momentum, and then Ole Miss pours cold water on it. So that's Ole Miss.
Yeah, I watched a pretty good bit of it. I mean, Ole Miss, they're the last team in, according to all these experts, as far as making the NCAA tournament field. It basically came down to Alabama and Ole Miss and a few other teams. And Ole Miss got in, and here now Ole Miss is going to Omaha.
Well, it shows you how evenly matched these baseball teams are. I mean, you talk about Alabama, which didn't have a good record at all, but Alabama has beaten several of Arkansas that's in it, and Ole Miss. I think Alabama's beaten both of them several times. So it's not surprising that one team, as long as you get in and you can get hot and win a few breaks go your way, you can end up in the College World Series and maybe win the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Alabama took 2 out of 3 from Arkansas the last series in SEC play. Then beat them the first game in the SEC tournament, or the second game in the SEC tournament. So Alabama took 3 of 4 from Arkansas, and here Arkansas is in Omaha.
Yeah. Wow. And then
Auburn caught a break on Saturday night and didn't go up against Oregon State's ace. He came down with some illness before the game, but they started their ace last night and won 4-3. So Auburn, I don't know who they'll try to pitch tonight. I don't know who Oregon State will try to pitch. I used to live out in Portland, Oregon. You feel like you're in another country. You're so far away. I've heard Auburn couldn't find hotels close to the campus because Oregon State had all their hotels filled. Eugene's the next closest city. They had all theirs filled for a big track and field event. Auburn apparently is going to stay 90 minutes away from the stadium.
I read that same article, Michael, and so you think that's 90 minutes, and they have to charter a bus and then pay all that gas too and get back late. Whew. Well, I hope Auburn can rally. You know, it comes down to who has the deeper pitching staff at this point. I really don't know much about Auburn's pitching staff. Seems like they are a great offensive team. I would still like Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, I like Auburn going into it. I felt like they're one of the hottest teams in the country, and I would imagine it's going to be hard for them, for Oregon State, to keep Auburn to 3 runs like they did last night. Auburn's, you know, scoring a ton of points right now.
Well, if you can have
runs right now.
Ole Miss, Arkansas, and Auburn all make the College World Series from the SEC, that'd be 3 out of 8. And like you say, it's stunning that Tennessee got beat by Notre Dame. That's why they play the games.
Yeah, that's true. Great golf. I know you already mentioned McIlroy and Justin Thomas were tied on after 16 yesterday. Thomas hit a horrible drive off 17, ended up bogeying, and then after that, McIlroy birdied on 17 and went up by 2. And Thomas seemed like he was deflated. Bogeyed 18 as well. But the story of the day that I enjoyed watching was Justin Rose was 11 under with 3 holes to play. So it's a par 70 course up in Canada at the Canadian Open. So basically, he had a chance to tie the record all time of 58 by Jim Furyk with 3 holes to play. You know, if he birdied 1 more hole, he would have shot 58. If he birdied 3 more holes, he would have shot 56. But he ends up bogeying the next hole, so he, you know, can pour out and make it 60, but then he birdies the next, so he's at 59 playing the last hole. I think 59 has only been shot 14 times, and Rose is in the, I think the, barely out of the fairway, you know, decent lie for his second shot. And I guess just the nerves, he hits it almost into the grandstands.
Oh.
And then he chips the ball onto the green. It rolls about 20 feet past the hole, misses the putt, and shoots 60. But you don't see many guys that are at 59 with 3 holes to play. And unfortunately for him, he is.
Well, I watched
shooting 60.
I didn't watch it on TV, but I followed it on the internet for a little while. Wasn't Justin and Roy both lighting it up in the first 12 holes, just birdie after birdie?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was phenomenal golf. And Tony Finau, who ended up finishing second, you know, he was playing well, too. But that's the best I've seen McIlroy hit the ball in putt, though, in a long time. It's his 21st win on the PGA Tour, and he made a point to say, yeah, I'm so glad I won that. I passed the guy that's been running his mouth or something or talking a lot about me lately. And that was Greg Norman, who had won 20 times on the PGA Tour. Now McIlroy has won 21 times. Of course, the Live Golf Tour event is the first event over. Charles Schwartzel, who won a Masters, 2011. Schwartzel wins $4 million as the winner, and then his team, which is full of a lot of South African players, a lot of names people know, Louis Oosthuizen, who's a great player, Brandon Grace, who won the British Open, and another guy who I think finished second. The most money that career earnings this guy had ever made on any tours is $100,000. He won $3 million finishing second because his team split, I think, $2.5 million being the winning team. And then, he also finished second in the tournament. So, I mean, the amount of money people are going to make on this tour is insane.
Wow, so you win they have prize money for the top finishers and winners, and then you split money for the top teams.
There's 4 players on each team, and the team that won it was the South African players. The Grace finished, I think, 3rd. I can't even think of this guy who finished 2nd. He had a weird last name, but I'm just saying, it's just amazing. Schwartzel won $4,750,000, and then all these other guys went way. You know, one guy made like 2.7. All the rest of them made over $1 million. And it's incredible.
Did they have pretty good attendance? You could tell.
Yeah, they had pretty good attendance. I mean, there was thousands of people there. Now, I've heard rumors that they had slow ticket sales and they let a lot of people in, but still, I mean, I've been following it on Facebook and Instagram, and I joined a few sites just to see the response. And, a lot of people are, for it, all about it. And then over the weekend, they added one of the biggest names, younger players you can add. They added Bryson DeChambeau is officially on the LIV Tour. You're talking about a guy that's only 28 years old, won 9 times on the PGA Tour, won a major. Having a guy like that come over, Patrick Reed, who won the Masters, has won about 8 or 9 times, is now on the LIV Tour. A few other names of guys like Pat Perez, who played on the tour for like 22 years, has come over. So, they're getting more and more guys to defect.
Well, it's very interesting, and it's the buzz of the sports world. We've been talking about it for a while. When's the next tournament? It's in America, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be in Pumpkin Hollow in Oregon. But now the big, golf's going to be like a must-watch this week, because now all these LIV Tour players will be at Brookline starting tonight. You can watch the Golf Channel. I can only imagine what this coverage is going to be like. You're going to have Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, Oosthaven, Kevin Na. I think there's like 7 or 8 guys that are going to be playing in the U.S. Open for the LIV Tour. And I can only imagine what that's going to be like. These press conferences, what's going to happen. I've never seen golf with this much controversy ever. I told my wife yesterday with the commissioner on yesterday. You would have felt like it was like a president like going to a foreign country having a sit-down talk. He was so serious and basically it was like us against them, kind of personality.
The president of the PGA?
Yeah, Tim Fincham was on live with Nance yesterday for about 15 minutes talking about it. But man, you could tell that he was under a lot of stress.
Well, my man Brandon Chambly's been talking about it for a while, and they're probably at the Golf Channel probably telling him not to. But this has been going on behind the scenes and putting a lot of pressure on all the players. It's fun to watch, and then I read some big articles this weekend, good articles on the controversy of President Biden going to Saudi Arabia. He was supposed to go this month, and now they pushed it back. But apparently he's going, and they won't word it like this, but what he's really doing is going over there and beg the Saudi Arabians produce more gas so that we can get the gas prices down.
Yeah, we got to do something. It's about to be $5 down here.
Well, this is President Biden has been one of the most outspoken critics of this prince, whatever his name is, Salman, the crown prince. Back during the election, he criticized Trump for not coming down hard enough on him, and he said, I will never back down to these people. They are pariahs, and they will be punished. And now here he is as president, and he's dropped all of that, and he's going to meet this very same guy and beg him to give us some more gas.
So how did the event go in downtown Troy on Friday night? Did you make it for that?
Well, no.
Okay.
Well, we were going. The kids and I were at the ATM at Troy Bank and Trust downtown, and the bottom fell out at about a few minutes before 6.
Oh, wow.
And so we just turned around, never made it to the square. I just assumed it was canceled. I haven't heard. It was lightning and bad rain. Now, it stopped in about 20 minutes. I don't know if they could have gotten some of it in, but I was really disappointed. I was going to go. The Johnny Cash cover band was going to start at 6:30, and we were going to be there in plenty of time for that. So
I've followed them. That's Adam Guthrie, Gary Guthrie, Carly Guthrie's son, and Adam bought it. He's been in a lot of fun. He's a part of that band, so I'm sure a lot of people would recognize him. But I'm sure hopefully all that would be rescheduled if it was canceled.
Yeah, it sounds like they had some great acts, and the food trucks, and then the existing restaurants we have. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. And then Carrie, my wife, couldn't go because her best friend in Montgomery was celebrating her 40th birthday, and so she went up to go out with her. But so we missed that. But the kids, you know, we always got something to do. I mean, we got Jack is doing karate. We got Vacation Bible School going on. My wife's involved with that, and the kids are doing that. Art camp just finished up. They've joined the rec center so they can swim all summer. So it's been an eventful summer so far. Need to come down and see you at the beach.
Summer so far. Pretty hot down there. It's gonna be like in July and August. It's already hot. I was thinking about worried about any cramps.
You're breaking up a little bit. You're
Yeah, I was talking about the football players. Hopefully, they won't have to worry about cramps or conditioning. Already starting to practice in this kind of heat.
I know it is. I took Jack to Murphy Park, not the rec center park, to play Saturday, and man, I tell you, I was sitting on one of those benches, not in the shade, and after about 15 minutes, I had to go move to the little gazebo. It was mighty hot.
Atlanta Braves, I want to mention, went out 11 in a row. Unbelievable run the Braves are on right now. They struggled to start the season. They're getting close to being 10 games over 500 now. Getting great pitching, getting great hitting throughout the lineup. Great time to go to Atlanta and catch a Braves game if you possibly can.
Yeah, what else can you do in Atlanta? You've probably been over there more than I have.
Well, I mean, you got the aquarium. Everybody always raves about that. I mean, you got Six Flags. I'm sure people still do that. I have not been to Six Flags in probably 25 years.
Yeah.
I remember it was a big deal back in the day.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's tons of stuff to do over there, but you got to find a lot of traffic to get there.
You know, I have never been to the Coca-Cola Museum. I want to see that. I bet that would be fun for me.
Yeah, you know, I was telling my wife, I was like, we're flying out early Friday morning to Sacramento, going to Napa, and I told my wife, I was like, every time we go to Birmingham now, I was like, it takes me about a day and a half to get used to driving conditions again, to get used to being, you know, to going fast and, you know, watching turns and people pulling out, letting people in, and you just don't have that anymore. When I live at the beach on 38, it's like bumper to bumper on 38, and then on 98, it's not near, you know, like driving like a 65 or a 280. And I don't know if you ever get that way too when you get into a big city driving again. It takes me a while to get used to it again. Even though I lived in Birmingham for 18 years.
You know, that's a good point, though. You've got to go into almost race car driver mode. It is serious. You're right. I mean, it comes back to you in a hurry, but it's two hands on the wheel. You almost can't go too slow because that's dangerous. And then you go from 2 lanes to, some of these highways have 5 or 6 lanes maybe.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, the merging over some lanes, and especially when you're in an environment where you don't know exactly. I mean, you'll have it on your phone, and you'll be listening to that little voice tell you where to go. But it's definitely one of those type of things. It always kind of concerns me. But yeah, I mean, like on 459 in Birmingham, if you don't go 85 miles an hour, you'll get killed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like literally like a NASCAR race on 459.
Yeah, you got to. That's what I find too. I mean, you cannot go 70, 75 miles an hour. You're going. I don't know why it is. Everybody is just seemingly going. Everybody's going faster, and you want to keep the same pace as everybody else, right? Here's a call. Let's see who this is. Good morning. You're on Today in LA.
Good morning. How's everything going?
Oh, good morning. Hold on a second. Let me get Michael back. Everything is going great, and I'm so glad you called and Michael called because I had about 10 minutes of material, but now I'm
Well, I saw that, and I said, I better call in.
well, how you feeling?
So doing much better. I haven't been tested yet, but I'm hoping that I can be tested positive this morning.
That's a negative. You don't want to be positive. You want to be negative, not positive.
Yeah, you want to get a positive report. A positive report is testing negative. Well, I have read that.
Negative. Hopefully, I'm negative.
I've done some research in this. Whatever this variant is, if it is a variant, is widespread throughout the world in different parts of America. So you're not alone, if that makes you feel better.
Hey, Dad, you got the TV on.
I know it. I've got to do something about it.
Yeah, you got to cut it off.
Yeah, I just heard it.
I just heard myself on TV.
Yeah. You sounded good. Well,
Dad, did you stay up and watch your beloved Auburn Tigers play baseball last night till midnight?
I fell asleep.
I mean, there's just no way I could stay up and watch that. I mean, if I was an Alabama fan or a Troy fan, probably maybe at least about 5 or 6 innings, but I couldn't have stayed up till midnight.
I've been reading my book, The Real Anthony Fauci by Robert Kennedy Jr. And I've been given an assignment from a website called The Daily Skeptic in London. I've written some stories for them, and they want me to review Robert Kennedy's book. And I mean, this is a big bestseller that sold over 1 million copies and makes all kind of interesting claims. And so I'm real excited that I get to review a important book at a site that actually has millions of readers. It'll be read around the world, and so I need to go ahead and finish the book before I can do a book review. And also I've never done a book review. So.
How does Stallion continue to keep his job? I mean, it seems like they might want to bring in another opinion or a fresher mind. I mean, this guy's like 80 years old, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 82. Good point. Hold on, let me get back on here. Are you back? Hello, you on Today in LA?
Is it coming through?
Yep.
Yeah, we hear you. You must have stayed up watching Auburn baseball last night.
I did. I watched every bit of it.
Well, how did they lose? Did they have a chance to win?
Well, they just it was 4-3, and you
Hello? Dad, you hear me?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what to do.
Well, just hold your phone up to your ear.
You know, I'll turn this down.
That's what happens when you stay up and listen to a baseball game till midnight.
Yep. I want to give my condolences to my neighbor, Mr. Quattlebaum. He lost his wife this weekend. She had been sick for several years and bedridden, and she passed away, and the family's been there. They had the funeral at Green Hills Funeral Home yesterday. But a fine lady and a fine man and family. So we're thinking of the Quattlebaum family today.
Yeah.
She worked at I didn't. She worked.
We got you.
She worked as the administrator at Charles Henderson Child Health Center for many years.
Is it working?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, okay. All right, but my television is supposed to be damp.
Yeah, we don't hear the background noise anymore.
You know?
No. So how did Auburn lose?
Well, first of all, Oregon State is one of the very best teams in the nation. I didn't realize how good they were. They won several national championships. And they were very good. It was a very tough environment for Auburn to be in. They held on pretty well, except for just a couple of things. Like the top player, the Sheriff, did not play well. sheriff.
Yeah, we saw him in Troy.
Auburn's 1 through 4 hitters went 1 for 15 last night, so they didn't produce like they normally do. Just like I told Rice, it really comes down to pitching now. He's got the pitching left to decide the game tonight.
Yeah, Auburn's still in it, and it's going to be a good game tonight.
Well, that's a lot.
They'll be playing, I guess, again late tonight at 9 o'clock. That's when all these games have started. 2 hour difference. 2 hour difference out in Corvallis compared to Central Time here. I'll check and see and make sure what time that game's going to be there.
I would think around about the same time, probably.
Well, Auburn.
The shocking thing yesterday was Tennessee getting beat by Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
Did that pitcher that can throw it 107 miles an hour pitch any?
I didn't see him. Yesterday. Just going to mention also big news in baseball. Florida State has fired their baseball coach Mike Martin Jr. Of course, he replaced his legendary father, who was at Florida State for 30-something years. So now that job is open at Florida State in baseball. The Clemson job is open. Big news about Florida State, though, is the head coach of Notre Dame. Head coach of Notre Dame's baseball team is a Florida State grad, played in 3 College World Series at Florida State. So a lot of people are thinking the Notre Dame coach should be the new Florida State coach.
Could be.
Yeah, I go way back with Florida State with Martin. I remember when Martin brought a team to Troy and we got kicked out of the game. I always remember that.
I think I was at that game too as a child. I think Troy won or had a chance to win. That's when Troy was in Division II.
Yeah.
And it was an intense game. You're right.
And the right fielder was your Strinsky's son. He was the right fielder.
Yeah, call you Spencer, son.
Big football day, it looks like Big 12 is going to have in 2023.
You might need to say that again. You're breaking up again. I don't know why.
Man, what is going on with my phone today? I guess I have one bar in Great Beach. Cincinnati, Houston, UCF, and BYU are now going to join the Big 12 Conference in 2023.
Okay, what were they?
So what does that mean for Texas and Oklahoma? Will they be able to leave and join the SEC sooner?
Oh, I see what you're saying, yes. That had been, last I heard, they said that was going to happen in 2025. So you're saying this might be bumped up a year, 2 years.
Well, I mean, you would think so. Gus Malzahn leaves Auburn, goes to UCF, and is now back in the Power 5. Of course, Luke Fickell did a great job at Cincinnati and made it to the playoffs last year. Cincinnati will be a Power 5 team. Houston, Dana Holgorsen beat Auburn last year in the bowl game. They'll be a Power 5 team. And then BYU will now finally be a Power 5 team who Troy played a couple of years ago.
And Mike is good friends with the athletic director. And we know his daughter was on this show one time.
Yeah, that's right. Homer. His name.
Homer.
Yeah, Homer.
I talked about Yaz's son. Heard some sad news about another well-known baseball player. Remember Steve Sachs that played for the Dodgers?
Oh, yeah, I did hear that. That was awful news.
His son was one of the pilots on these Osprey Marine airplane that crashed in California last week, and all 5 on board died, and one of them was Steve Sachs' son. He was a captain in the Marines and a pilot of this Marine aircraft. So.
That's bad.
Well, we actually do have good news tonight for the Auburn Tiger fans. Auburn, Oregon State will actually be earlier tonight at 6:30 on ESPN2. Auburn will play Oregon State. Auburn's 41-20. Oregon State's 48-17. Before that, you'll have UConn. UConn in baseball, you don't hear that much. will be playing a deciding game against Stanford tonight. That game will be in Stanford.
Nobody could believe that UConn actually beat Stanford the other day. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that.
How about UConn? How about UConn 50-15 though?
Is that what their record was?
That's what the record is.
Was what? 50-15?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Well, like Notre Dame, UConn, I guess they can play a little baseball up north.
I know it. Can you hear me all right? Mike?
You're coming in and out. Apparently nobody can hear me either, so I don't know what's going on with the phone today. I don't know.
Right, do you hear him? Let's go on break. Let's take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, and we will be right back after this. Thank you to our sponsors. And
all right, now we got to find out what's happening, what's wrong. Can you hear me all right, Frank?
We price our products at cost, then add 10% at checkout. We carry all your favorite name brand foods, and we accept manufacturer coupons. Find us on Facebook and see our weekly specials.
A personal touch. A high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line has been in business since 1959, and we're steadily getting bigger. I'm surrounded by new equipment. That's right, new equipment. Here's one that's ready to go at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have Blue Cross, Blue Shield. We have a 401k. We can match your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. If these tires roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, you make money. Ride the best, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Oh, okay. Oh, the old golf station?
No, it's right next to the fitness station, right there on the corner of Madison Avenue and South 39th Street.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Well, he gave me a pass. I got a free wash. All right, let's see. We're back on the air, and now we have another person calling, so it's probably Will, so that would mean that somebody would have to hop off. Let's see.
Well, maybe we just don't pick up the call. You only got 30 minutes left of the show.
Let's see. All right. We'll hold off.
Well, I want to tell you this, that it's been awfully lonely not being able to communicate with you much, but thankfully, hopefully it looks like we have a few good shows ahead. You know, and I appreciate everybody who was concerned about me and my wife, and of course we both had our bout with the virus. Hopefully we'll be all right after today.
Well, if y'all are going to get the virus, this is a good time to get it. If y'all had got it a year ago, it'd been a lot worse of a variant. I don't think this variant is gonna kill people. I don't think. I mean, I'm sure certain conditions. If you had certain existing health conditions, you could probably be in the hospital for this. But from what I've read, the amount of people that are getting it, it's usually milder symptoms and not near as many people having to go to the hospital.
I'm praise the Lord. I've had 4 shots, so that probably has had an effect on how the virus is affecting people.
Yeah, the only problem is you can have as many shots as you want to have, but you're still going to get the virus. That's what is strange about this virus. It protects you, but you're also going to still be able to spread it to other people. So, I don't know, Rice. I mean, you follow this more than anybody ever met. I mean, when in the world is this going to come to an end?
You know what the theory is that the vaccines are keeping the virus going. It's forced the virus to mutate. Some people say you never vaccinate once an epidemic has started. And so there are people that believe that if you had never vaccinated, the virus would have died out in X months or a year or two. And now that it's through selection is creating all these variants, and there's a lot of people. Another weird thing I've noticed is a lot of people are being reinfected in a hurry. So you've got, I hate to say this to Mike, but you got people that get a case, you say, okay, good. I mean, they're in the clear for a little while, then they test positive a month later. I don't know what in the world that is. But like you say, there are so many bizarre things. The other bizarre thing is that all the other big waves have been in the winter, which is the cold and flu season, and this is hitting us. This is a pretty big wave, as far as I can tell, and it's really in the summer.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can after tomorrow when I come home, hopefully I'll be able to come home to the show tomorrow, and I feel good, and I'm just extremely proud to be here and in good health.
Well, thank God. I know it hadn't been fun, and it's just, anytime you get sick, I mean, if you got any kind of flu-like symptoms, it's not fun at all.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out if they're going to have to change mask rules again. I don't know if we'll have to wear a mask out in certain places in California. I know their COVID laws are a lot stricter than where I am in Florida. Of course, nobody's as wide open as Florida is. But then you got to show cards and vaccine cards and stuff. I don't know if all that's going to be in play. I'm trying to figure out all that once we get out there.
Yeah.
So can you believe all the things that's been going on at Troy University? It's been, I was talking to somebody yesterday about how, you've had girls' day, you've had boys' day, you've had these huge football camps, and we figured there were over 2,000 kids, or 2,000 kids that have been on Troy campus in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I love it, and it is. It's just a flurry of activity with these camps, and I guess it will continue all summer. It seems like there's always something going on out there.
Well, I tell you what, it's been amazing and everything, and anything like that is positive for the university, no question about it. And hopefully, a lot of these kids will go to school in Troy one day.
Yeah, that's what we want. They can go to the nursing school, the business school, the education school, the athletic trainer school. Just
they've got a lot to do. You're right.
Come on. You know what? I wish we would have gotten a couple of years ago, but it's too late now with Jones School of Law expanding. I wanted Troy to start a law school.
Yeah, that would have been neat.
Yeah, I'm sure that was in the picture at one time, but I don't know about now.
Well, you know, Jones School of Law was a night school primarily, and it wasn't fully accredited by whoever accredits law schools. But then they really improved their facilities and faculty, and it's fully accredited and excellent law school now. So I mean, I don't think that the need is there.
Yeah, my lawyer, the great John Grady Reeves, is a Jones Law School.
Yeah, probably half the lawyers who are operating around here are. Yeah.
But Mike Amos is calling in from Graton Beach. What kind of weather would you got for the week, Mike?
It's sunny down here. It's been nice. They mentioned a little bit of rain over the weekend, and it never really rained. We've had a lot of people down here. We made a horrible mistake, and we went to 11 o'clock church service yesterday, but we went to the grocery store at
you never paid too bad. We want you in church on Sunday.
No, I'm just saying we made a horrible mistake. We went to the grocery store at Seaside and Watercolor yesterday morning. And we got there, and there was probably 1,000 people in there. It was insane. So my wife and I were just like so mad that we went when all the tourists, you know, a new group of tourists come in on Saturdays. So you know, everybody has to leave on Saturday morning. Everybody comes in Saturday afternoon. So we were hoping that maybe everybody went to the grocery store Saturday afternoon, but apparently everybody decided to go Sunday morning. And we get out there, and I'm just running around, dodging people left and right, just trying to grab stuff and throw it in a buggy and meet my wife at the register. It was just so packed full of people down here.
Well,
you know, it's fun though. At the same time, though, to see the people, all the people from different states, and you know, of course, this is Beach Week, you know, what they call Beach Week, where most of the summer traffic will be within the next week or so.
This is like the third week of Beach Week. Beach Week started back in May. We're on June 13th now. We're settled in the summer down here now.
Month or whatever.
Well, who do you see? Do you mostly see families, I guess?
Yeah, you see a lot of families. You see a lot of college kids, too. A lot of college kids down here working now, which is good for all the restaurants and bars.
Oh, really?
They got an influx of people to hire. The Trojan Tour this week is busy. They're going to be in Phoenix City tonight. You can get in the car and drive to Pensacola on Thursday, Saturday night. And then Huntsville, Birmingham on Saturday lunch, and then Huntsville on Saturday night. So the Trojan Tour is going to be all over the place this week.
That's great.
I wonder what kind of turnout they'll have in Huntsville. I mean, do we get many students and have many alumni from the Huntsville area?
They won't, but a lot of people will be there because, you know, this is where the coach is from.
Oh, okay. Now I get it.
Yeah, he's from Huntsville, and you know, of course, you know, Ford recruits Huntsville.
Well, Huntsville was called America's Most Livable City by some big magazine. I think U.S. News and World Report or something like that. America's Most Livable City, Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, it is great.
And I think Michael told us that as far as population of just the city, not the metro area, that Huntsville is now the largest city in Alabama, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Mobile second, Montgomery I think is third, and Birmingham I think is fourth.
I think maybe Birmingham's third and Montgomery is fourth.
Montgomery's fourth, yeah.
You know, I think I might be wrong, but aren't the tags based on population of the counties? And so Jefferson's always been 1, Mobile's 2, and Montgomery 3 based on population, but I don't think those rankings apply anymore. But I hope they don't change the tags, because I have memorized all the tags. So
yeah, well, I mean, Shelby's a big part of the Birmingham Metro, and Shelby's 58. is that tag number.
Well, it goes to,
Birmingham is 1.
well, actually the first 3, it goes to alphabetical order. So then, so 4 would be Autauga, 5 would be, I don't know, Bibb or whatever. And so we know that Pike County
Pike County, Troy, still 55.
Yep. And how many counties do we have? We have 67. And
I tell you a good thing. There's 1, 2, and 3. But then, as far as the topics go, you got the college tags, ranked number 3, and as far as the college behind Alabama and Auburn.
Troy's tag is?
Yes, Troy number 3.
That's awesome.
As far as university tags,
I can't believe the UAB Blazer tag's not there.
Well, from what I gather, Troy ranked number 3.
That's good. That's a fundraiser for the Troy Alumni Association, isn't it, or somebody?
Yeah, that's
big upset over the weekend. The Birmingham Stallions lost their first game in the USFL. They're now 8-1.
I was asking. I wanted to get a Stallions or a USFL update. So, aren't they about? Well, they play 10 games, so the playoffs are right around the corner for the USFL. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's very funny. All these kids have been staying. All these players have been staying in Birmingham hotels. Every team's been playing in Birmingham at Protective Stadium. But now, when the playoffs happen, where you'd think you'd have the most viewers, those games will all be in Canton, Ohio.
Well, maybe they'll get more than 122 people at some of these games in Canton. It's a little more than embarrassing to turn it on and watch it. I feel
kind of scary to see what kind of attendance they're going to have for the World Games. The World Games are like a mini Olympics that's about to start in Birmingham in a few weeks as well.
Yeah, you're right there too. Just let people in free, but I don't know if that'll make a difference. It's going to be hot during those World Games too. Well, I hope it's not a complete disaster, and I hope people support it. It sounds like a neat event.
It's a big deal. I mean, you're talking about I think 3,000 athletes from all over the world.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big event, no question.
Sports you normally don't see. I wonder about the Olympics. If the Olympics might have jumped the shark. I mean, the last couple of Olympics were this COVID Olympics. The TV ratings have been atrocious. I wonder about the viability of the Olympic Games going forward. NBC must have taken a bath on all the money they paid out and didn't recoup.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't watch hardly any of it.
I didn't watch 1 minute of it. The summer games or the Olympics or the winter games.
And you know what? The usual thing about it, I didn't recognize any names. None of the names were familiar at all.
It used to be, the media used to hype it big time weeks before. You had people like USA Today doing big stories, Sports Illustrated doing special issues. Well, those publications are just a shadow of their former self. Have y'all seen the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue cover now?
No.
Michael, you haven't seen. Maybe this is a spoof, but it shows a oversized. They're celebrating oversized people, and so the girl on the cover is a large woman, not a typical swimsuit model.
Yeah, they're called plus size models.
Well, I saw a picture, and I don't know, maybe this is an onion type scam, but if Sports Illustrated has become so politically incorrect that they can't put beautiful 21-year-old swimsuit models on their swimsuit edition, that's it for Sports Illustrated.
Well, we need to mention we got Auburn tonight at 6:30 if anybody wants to watch baseball. Auburn, this would be an amazing accomplishment. I think they got beat in the first game of the SEC tournament. Blew everybody out in the regional in Auburn. They went out and beat Oregon State, who's a traditional baseball power, in Corvallis tonight. That'd be amazing for Auburn baseball. Of course, the Nelson kid out of Troy, I know he went to some of those regional games. I wonder if him and David made the trip all the way out to Corvallis to watch him play.
I doubt it, right? I doubt it. But I know this, that he could be a great addition to Auburn staff. I say he's an outstanding. He was named the baseball player of the year in the state of Alabama, didn't he?
He was the Gatorade Player of the Year, and he was either second or third in the Mr. Baseball voting. The Pierce Quick, or what was it? Pierce Quick's brother was named Mr. Baseball, and he's going to pitch at Alabama unless he goes pro.
Some kid that played at Hewitt Trustwell beat out Nelson for Player of the Year.
They call it Mr. Baseball.
He'll play better be able to hit got the best changeup I've ever seen.
This kid, the quick kid, is already found with Alabama.
Okay, I got you.
And then the second and third vote getters have both committed to Auburn, and I just don't think that this quick kid can be better than Drew Nelson, to tell you the truth.
Well, he definitely played against better competition.
Well, I guess that, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a 7A program. The guy went 13-1.
Yeah.
If you go 13-1 in that kind of competition in the Birmingham area, you're going against some talented baseball players.
That's no doubt. Yeah.
And I got some stories really big good for Auburn, no question.
Well, he's going to a great program.
I might become an Auburn baseball fan.
Yeah.
The big thing is Troy University baseball is trying to find some pitchers. I'm looking back at some of these games, some of these teams Troy beat. Troy beat Georgia Tech, win the NCAA regional. They beat so many teams that advanced. Coach South Carolina went to the regional. Georgia Southern, who went to the hosted their own regional, they got beat by Notre Dame, and now Notre Dame is going on to beat Tennessee.
Well, Notre Dame must be pretty good, so there's no shame in losing to Notre Dame in baseball, as it turns out, for Georgia Southern.
Lafayette, Troy swept Lafayette. Lafayette made it to the regional and won a couple of games. So, I mean, Troy's just a couple of pitchers away, like we always say, from maybe having a chance.
Right, you know what we've been talking about all these years about how Troy's just a pitcher or two away from having a great team. Well, this is obvious. These are the same kids that are playing for that Troy played in the season.
Yep, it's baseball. You need two great pitchers and maybe a good relief pitcher. Softball, you can make it to the World Series with just one great pitcher. So if Troy ever breaks through on the national scene in a national tournament and has a chance to win a national championship, it will be in baseball or softball.
I agree with that.
Now let me say this:
never will happen in football and basketball.
No, it could happen in football. It's they're going to expand the playoffs to about 12 teams, and they're going to have a seat for the best mid-major team. So all Troy has to do to be that team is run the table in their conference, which I know Troy can do. They've almost done it several times. I think they've had several seasons where they lost one game. And then you upset the one team, the marquee team that you play, which this year would be Ole Miss. So look at that scenario. You're 12-0. Win your conference. That gets you in the playoffs. Now, whether you can win the playoffs is another thing. But I could easily see Troy getting in the college football playoffs in the next 10 years.
I mean, Cincinnati did it, but they had to have a ton of breaks for it to happen. I mean, they beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame ended up having a great season. Troy would have to do it in the Sun Belt, where a lot of Sun Belt teams would have to have 1 or 2 losses. It would have to be the strongest Sun Belt ever. Of course, they're going to be strong now, adding the teams they're adding. But non-Power 5, they're still going to say the American Conference is ahead of the Sun Belt, I would think.
Well, that would also help if the Sun Belt was really good. So the teams that Troy was beating had good seasons. There's this human cry to not discriminate against the non-Power 5 teams, and under the scenario I described, and then plus Cincinnati's not going to be a non-Power 5 team anymore, so nor is Central Florida. So Troy just has to be the best of this other group to get there.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have boys. You're going to have Boise State in the Mountain West. They're still going to be strong. You're going to have the American Conference. You'll have Memphis and UAB. Other teams I'm trying to blank on right now. I mean, you'll have some, other conferences that'll have some really good teams and some really good chances. But I mean, I guess you can never say never.
Well, all you got to do is you got to run the table. You got to go undefeated, which we know is not easy. But if you do it, I would like to see them keep with. You got a 12-team field. Troy goes undefeated in the Sun Belt Conference and say beats a top 25 team like Ole Miss. And they're going to keep them. They're going to keep them out of the playoffs. No,
I don't think.
Well, it's just a matter of having so many teams in these Power 5s. The Power 5s. I mean, they would only give it to one team.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's right. So you got to be.
Team would be extremely tough because all the other Power 5s are going to, basically, there'd be too much money involved for all these, huge universities. They basically make it. We'll give one team a shot every year. I
think so. And then the scenario I lay out with Troy would be the one team that ran that gauntlet and went undefeated and then pulled the other upset. And I say that Troy would upset one Power 5 team. Sometimes Troy has 2 Power 5 teams on their schedule. Like this year they're having...
let's talk about something that's realistic. It's not near realistic that'll ever happen.
I think so. But that's
I'll
right.
tell you this.
Baseball and softball is definitely your best chance there. If you can do like Georgia Southern this year. Georgia Southern playing the championship game. They didn't even win the conference outright, but they had an overall strength of schedule record where they hosted a regional. If Troy would ever host a regional in baseball, but then I found out this weekend that this is the first time Southern Miss, who's got a legendary baseball program, has ever hosted a super regional.
That's right. That was big for them. And of course, they got beat bad both times, but that was big for them, that program. Hey, I'll tell you this, that's something I didn't realize. I thought that they were going to just remove the seats at the new baseball facility. But they tore all of it down, Mike. They'll just completely start from scratch. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. I was looking at a lot of baseball programs over the weekend. You look at Southern Miss, you look at some of East Carolina, some of these other programs that Troy is, trying to get, be compared to, I guess. Their facilities blow Troy's away. So Troy needed to improve their baseball facilities.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful new facility with all chair-back seats, and it's going to have all kinds of different amenities. If you're a great supporter of Troy baseball, they're going to have special seating for you and whatever.
I wonder if they
need seats down the line.
Yeah, and then is the concession stand still going to be? Is it going to be inside the stadium now or underneath? I bet it is.
I don't know about that. I don't know exactly, but
I think you would have to keep it underneath. Yeah, you're not going to put it on the outside.
Well, now it's on the outside. You got to go out of the bleachers and go walk over to a separate little house. I bet they're going to change that.
Yeah, well, maybe so, but it was a nice baseball field as far as Troy's goes, and will be even better.
Yeah.
Jeremy, when I say hello to Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep, say hello to Jason as well. I saw a lot of people buying cars out there. I've been following stuff on Facebook lately that looks like they still have a lot of lot of great inventory, used and new, at Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep.
I tell you what, he's selling cars like at no time ever, and of course he's got a huge sale going on right now. And of course we appreciate Premier Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep. And of course, remember, nobody will be the Premier price. Nobody.
I see Goldfinger's just popped up on our screen, one of our advertisers, and we had Goldfinger's the other day, and they got some really good chicken fingers, chicken nuggets.
They really do, and we appreciate them very much.
Of course, this time of year I'm craving fresh vegetables, and next time you and Mom come down to the beach, Dad, I want a bag of fresh peas from the pig.
You can have it one day. We'll sure do it.
I can't find anywhere down here that has white peas.
Oh man, and they're all over the place at Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly's got a huge selection of fresh peas, different sizes, and it's very wonderful. The Red Schoolhouse was serving them yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish I could have been there.
You're like the little boy that was sick and you can't go out and play. I remember when I was sick as a little boy and I wanted to go out and play with my friends, and my mom said, "No, you can't."
You're right.
I was so sad.
I tell you what,
I would look out the window with just like little tears in my eyes watching my friends playing.
You live in a good town with drive-through. Though, at least. Troy's got enough places with drive-through restaurants you can wear your mask and go pick up food left and right.
You can't get out of your car, though. You got to stay in your car, you know.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, you got tons of drive-throughs at least. It could be a lot worse if you're out in the middle of nowhere.
I feel almost certain. I just feel so positive that I'm going to be all okay for the show tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to it.
Well, don't rush back too soon, but if you're up to it,
I've got to. It's got to be.
You got to be cleared.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when I had COVID, I tested positive, and then I tested negative within 5 days. But my wife, she tested positive, and it took her 8 days until she was negative. So some people it just last longer than others.
Well, all right, let me tell you this. Saturday, I was checked. What is it? Positive.
Yep.
Yeah, you got a COVID test on Sunday.
All right,
it was a week yesterday.
Yeah. This is a Monday, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you tested positive on a Sunday. You tested still positive this past Saturday, and then you should be negative probably today.
I haven't had but one test, and it was on Saturday. And then I didn't get tested on yesterday, and I hope to be tested today. So hopefully we'll know.
Yeah, all the drugstores down here still have tons of tests. So anybody out there is still needing to buy them. I know they have a lot of them down here. I don't know about in Troy. I think we have them at all the drugstores.
I think we have one, and I'm gonna be tested by it this morning.
Well, Raj, thanks for coming into the studio today. I know you're solo, and we got the Sanders, Wally Sanders show about to come on. Hall Day is about to come on, and I'll let you wrap it up.
Well, I hope Jeffrey's going to be here, and look forward to watching that show. Dustin's here getting him set up right now. I'm glad that Mike can call in. Michael, thank you for calling in. And then we'll all pull for Auburn tonight so they can make it to the College World Series. And hopefully, knock on wood, Mike will be back here in this seat tomorrow morning. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Have a good day.
A personal touch. A high level of trust. Whether it's